Let's start using Express to create a new server. So to do that, we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it server.js. And in here, we're going to use that new library we just installed. So we're going to load it, right? We're going to declare a variable Express, and we're going to bind the value of Express to the library that we're going to load. So require, and then we can then list here the library that we want to load. Now require is the equivalent in other languages such as import or include, right? That take whatever that other file is, and then it includes it. Whatever that file exports, right, is then made available to the value of the variable that we're assigning. In this case, we're going to require the Express library, so we can just type there Express. Notice that it finds Express, and it tells me that it found it under the node_module directory. See that under here? Yeah, it finds it under there. There's quite a bit of stuff in there, and Express is there. So if you type here the name of the library, it'll look for it and it'll find it. There it is. Okay. Once we have that Express, we can now create an instance of an object that we can use to interact with the API. And the way that works is that we're going to declare a local variable that's going to hold an instance of the Express library, right? Now this Express variable here, what Express exports is a function. So Express now is a function, right? And we can call that function, and now this function is behaving like a constructor, right? It's going to instantiate an object, right? And it's going to return an instance of that object, right? And we're going to assign it to app. All right. Once we have app, we can now declare and get a server started. We can say app and that listen to a particular port, so 3000. So now this is going to start up the server, an HTTP server, and it's going to be listening for incoming requests at port 3000. So to try it out, we let's see, we have that new server file. So we say node server. There it is. Notice that before, when we ran the Hello World app, right, it just printed out Hello World right away. Here, it's not doing anything, right? Notice that it's blocked. It's forever waiting on port 3000 for incoming HTTP requests. So let's try it out. So if we go to a browser in a new tab, we point there. We can say localhost 3000. Notice that notice that the server responded to us saying, "Hey, whatever it is that you're asking for, right? Whatever you're asking for, I can't find. It's not. There's no mapping for any URL right now that it's mapped to any resource, right? So let's fix that. Let's map something in there. So let's go back here to our code, and what we can do here is we can use app, right, to register interests, right, in several URLs, right? That if we see the following URL as an incoming HTTP request, we would like to respond to it, right, and return something. So we can say, hey, if you see an incoming GET request, right, that has a URL that say has a hello after the first slash, then I'd like to respond to that. I'd like to be able to do something, right? I'd like to be able to execute a piece of logic. So what we could do here is that we can give it a callback function that is going to be invoked, and the only thing that we're going to do, we're going to print out to the console just hello world. Okay, there we go. So if we restart the server, all right, so let's see what the let's put it here next to our browser. Okay, and so if we ask for hello at the URL, okay, notice that the server is kind of spinning here, and it basically is kind of waiting for a response from the server. Before, it immediately gave me an error, right, saying that I cannot find blah blah blah. But here, it's kind of like waiting for a response. But notice that our function on the server did run. Notice that it is printing hello world exclamation. So that this function is indeed being executed, right, when this URL is found, right? So we are able to execute a function, okay?